My child, listen closely. You have waited long, cried long, and prayed in silence while heaven seemed to stand still. You have watched seasons change and promises feel delayed, wondering if I had forgotten what I whispered to you years ago. But hear me now, I never forgot. I never turned away. I was shaping something hidden within you, something sacred and eternal, something that carried your name but also carried my breath, that thing, that dream, that seed of destiny, that is your daughter. And now, I am exposing her. Yes, I said your daughter. The one born out of your prayers, the one you carried in pain when no one understood your burden. The one you almost gave up on when disappointment became too heavy to hold. The one you thought was gone, forgotten, dead, buried beneath the ashes of delay, she is rising now. I am uncovering her before your eyes. You can't believe what I am doing because it doesn't look like what you imagined. You expected celebration, I began with shaking. You expected recognition, I began with isolation. You expected doors to open easily, I let them close one after another, so you would finally see that no door made by man could ever contain what I am birthing through you. You see, the daughter I gave you, this divine creation, this purpose, could not be revealed in immaturity. She needed to be hidden until her time came. She needed to be refined by your tears, fed by your faith, and guarded by your pain. That's why I allowed certain people to walk away, certain opportunities to vanish, and certain prayers to seem unanswered. I was protecting what you carried. Now the time has come. I am lifting the veil. I am exposing your daughter, the work of your heart, the fruit of your obedience, the evidence of your trust. You will see things that you cannot believe. You will see people who once doubted you now turn and say, "Surely the Lord was with them." You will see how I turned rejection into direction, pain into power, and silence into strategy, because you thought you were losing, but I was preparing. You thought I was quiet, but I was writing. You thought nothing was happening, but I was building in secret what I'm about to reveal in public. Your daughter, your promise, your dream, your assignment, is about to stand tall, and the world will know that it was I, the Lord, who brought her forth. Don't be afraid of exposure. Exposure is not always judgment, sometimes, it's revelation. When I expose, I reveal truth. I bring light where there was hiding. I bring order where there was confusion. I bring identity where there was doubt. The time for hiding is over. The season of silence is over. The purpose I placed inside you is stepping into the light. I have seen every moment you carried her in faith. I saw you when you prayed in rooms that no one noticed. I saw you when you smiled while breaking inside. I saw you when you believed even when evidence mocked your hope, and now, heaven moves. What you thought was small will be multiplied. What you thought was lost will be found. What you thought was over will begin again. Do not rush this exposure. Let me unfold it. When I bring your daughter into the open, it will not be by force, it will be by favor. I will not let the world see her through gossip or jealousy. I will present her with grace. The very same hands that tried to bury her will become witnesses of her birth. I am God. I waste nothing, every pain had purpose. Every delay carried design. Every season of silence trained your heart for the sound that's about to echo, the sound of manifestation. Your daughter is your destiny in form. She is not just what you built, she's who you've become. She's the reflection of your endurance, the echo of your obedience. That's why I'm exposing her now. Because you're ready. You couldn't handle it before. You were still learning to trust me. You were still trying to prove yourself. But now, you no longer seek approval. You seek alignment. You no longer crave recognition. You crave revelation. You no longer want to be seen by man. You want to be known by me. That's why I can expose her now, my child. Do not fear this next season. The exposure will not destroy you, it will deliver you. The light will not blind you, it will bless you. The attention will not corrupt you, it will confirm you. You have asked me again and again, Lord, when will it happen? When will the promise you spoke finally come to life? And I have answered in whispers that seemed like silence, in moments that looked like stillness, but every breath, every unseen movement, was me forming what your faith had already conceived. You thought the delay was denial, but it was development. You thought the silence was rejection, but it was incubation. I was letting your daughter grow where eyes could not reach. You see, my child, when a seed is planted, it does not bloom immediately. It must first die to what it was before it can become what it was created to be. And in that process, everything looks buried, dark, hopeless, still. But buried and planted are not the same thing. You were not buried, you were planted. Your daughter was not forgotten, she was hidden for divine timing, and now the soil is breaking open. The roots are strong enough. The environment is ready, you are about to see what your obedience has grown. But hear me carefully. When I expose what you carry, I also expose you. Because I do not separate the creation from the Creator. What is born of you reflects what is within you. If you carry bitterness, it will echo in what you birth. If you carry trust, that trust will radiate through what emerges. That is why I had to heal you before revealing you. You thought I was delaying your dream, but I was protecting it from your wounds. You thought I was withholding your destiny, but I was waiting for your healing to match your calling. Now, you are ready, not perfect, but purified, not flawless, but faithful. Your heart has learned to lean on me, not on applause. Your hands have learned to work quietly, even when no one was watching. Your spirit has learned to stand even when nothing seemed to move. That's why what I'm about to expose will last, because it's built on truth, not pretense. Do you feel it? The stirring? The shift? That's the sound of your daughter awakening. That's the vibration of destiny shaking off the dust of waiting. That's the sound of heaven aligning earth with the promise I spoke over your life. You once prayed, God, show them who I am. But I am showing you who you are. Because your daughter is a reflection of my image in you, she carries my light, my wisdom, my power. She is the manifestation of what happens when a human heart fully trusts a divine promise. When I expose her, some will misunderstand. They will see your rise and call it luck. They will see your restoration and call it coincidence. They will see your breakthrough and say, it's about time. But they won't understand the cost, the nights of weeping, the private surrender, the silent obedience that built the foundation no one saw. Let them talk, let them wonder, because while they speak, I will keep revealing. Every misunderstanding will become a mirror of my glory. Every accusation will become proof of my presence. Every attempt to tear you down will lift you higher. Because I do not waste opposition, I use it as confirmation. Do not fear exposure. Exposure is my evidence. It is heaven's way of saying, the hidden work is ready for public release. Your daughter will not be small. She will not be quiet. She will not fit into the box others tried to place her in. She will carry the same fire that once kept you alive when you were ready to give up. She will walk into rooms that once rejected you. She will unlock doors you once knocked on and heard nothing. This exposure is not humiliation, it is revelation, and I, the Lord your God, am standing behind it all. There will be moments when you will say, Lord, this is too much. The light is too bright. But remember, you prayed for this. You prayed for me to make something of your pain, for me to give purpose to what broke you, for me to breathe life into what felt lifeless. This is the answer, the exposure of your daughter, the unveiling of what was divine all along, and yes, you will not believe what I'm about to do. Because I am not doing it according to your effort, I am doing it according to my grace. You do not need to strive anymore, you only need to stay aligned. You do not need to prove yourself, you only need to move when I say move. This exposure will not require explanation, it will carry demonstration. People will see the difference. They will feel the anointing that cannot be faked. They will sense the authority that cannot be taught. They will know that what they are witnessing is not man-made, it is God-breathed. The same mouth that once doubted you will now testify of you. The same eyes that overlooked you will now look up to you. The same hearts that shut you out will now reach for your wisdom. Because I am turning tables, shifting atmospheres, and breaking cycles, the time for hiding is finished, your daughter is stepping out. The promise is unfolding, and when she stands in the light, the world will know, this was not your doing, it was mine. There is a quiet hour before the dawn when everything holds its breath. In that hour, the earth seems still, the stars fade, and the horizon waits for light. That is where you have been, between what was and what will be, carrying the invisible promise that has grown inside you for years. Now the stillness is breaking, the first light touches what you have carried, and the divine whispers, it is time. Time for what was hidden to be seen. Time for what was small to stretch, time for the daughter of your spirit, your dream, your work, your living truth, to open her eyes and meet the world, you may tremble. New birth always feels too bright at first, but you are not alone in this moment. Every heartbeat that once hurt becomes part of the rhythm that welcomes her. Every lesson you learned in the dark becomes the language she will speak in daylight. Do not rush to define her. Do not try to make her familiar. Let her surprise you. She is larger than your plans and purer than your fears. She carries pieces of heaven shaped by the pressure of your endurance. When others look at her, they will see strength. But only you will know how many tears watered that strength. They will see confidence, but only you will know how much surrender built that confidence. They will see grace, but only you will know the gravity from which that grace rose. So stand gently in this unveiling. The world will reach for what you've birthed, but remember, exposure is not possession. Your daughter belongs to the light that conceived her through you. Guard her not with fear, but with faith. Protect her not by hiding her again, but by trusting that what began in truth cannot be undone by opinion. There will be moments when you will wish for the safety of secrecy again, when praise feels strange, when attention feels heavy, when misunderstanding cuts deep. In those moments, return to the quiet where she was first formed. Remember how long you believed without seeing. Let gratitude be the garment that keeps your heart warm when the wind of change blows cold, because this unveiling is not only about her. It's about you becoming who you needed to be to carry her. Every stage of this journey has rewritten your name. You are no longer the one who waits. You are the one who brings forth. You are no longer the dreamer. You are the vessel through which dreams become real. So lift your head. You have done sacred work. You have walked faithfully through invisible seasons, and now the visible world will echo what heaven has already celebrated. And when you see her walk, your purpose, your creation, your living hope, remember to rest. Do not chase her, guide her. Do not fear her path, bless it. Do not cling to control, cling to trust, because what is truly yours will never leave you. It will simply grow into forms you could not imagine. You will notice people drawn to her light. Some will understand. Some will not, but each encounter will reveal another layer of why you were chosen for this task. You will see reflections of yourself in others' eyes, people who are still carrying unborn dreams, waiting for permission to believe. Your story will give them that permission. Your endurance will become their encouragement. That is the quiet purpose of exposure, not to glorify, but to multiply light. When one person dares to reveal what love has built inside them, it awakens courage in many. Your daughter's unveiling is a signal flare to other waiting hearts. It is possible. It is safe to bloom. The light whispers again, "You have done well. Now walk with open hands. Let every step be thanksgiving, every breath a seed of kindness." And as you move forward, you'll feel it, a gentle certainty replacing the old ache of waiting, because deep within, you know, the divine never exposes to embarrass, it exposes to elevate. Every truth brought into the light becomes a bridge for someone else's freedom. So breathe. This is the beginning of the visible story of what faith built in secret, and it is beautiful. There comes a time when light no longer asks permission to enter. It simply finds every crack and fills it. That is how this new season feels, soft. Steady illumination spreading through every corner that once held uncertainty. The daughter of your spirit is no longer a fragile thought, she is breathing in the open air. Notice how everything around you begins to respond to her presence. Conversations shift. Ideas rearrange themselves. The same places that once felt heavy begin to hum with quiet possibility. This is what happens when hidden purpose meets its appointed hour. The world adjusts to make room. You may still feel unready. Most people do when something precious becomes visible. Yet readiness is not perfection, it is willingness. And you are willing. You have proven it every time you stood in faith when evidence was scarce. You have proven it by forgiving instead of fighting, by choosing hope when bitterness seemed easier. Those choices have written a language inside you that your daughter now speaks fluently: resilience, tenderness, truth. As she steps further into the world, there will be noise. Praise will call from one side, criticism from another. Do not build your identity out of either. Let your peace be anchored deeper than opinion. The light that formed her is the same light that guides her. You are only asked to keep walking in step with that guidance. When the nights come, and they will, remember that darkness is not punishment, it is rest. Even creation needs pause to regain rhythm. Your daughter's strength will not come from endless movement but from sacred stillness, from the same quiet where she was conceived. Guard those moments. Let them refill you. Look how far you have come. The path behind you is scattered with pieces of the person you once were, fragments of fear, of doubt, of small dreams. Leave them where they fell. They were necessary once, they are not needed now. You are lighter without them, and lightness is a kind of wisdom. The light whispers again, do not mistake growth for distance. What grows away from you often grows because of you. Celebrate every form that your love takes, even the ones that walk beyond your reach. Your daughter, your purpose, will evolve. She will travel through hands, hearts, and places you will never see. That is not loss, that is legacy. Every life she touches carries a spark of your faith forward, multiplying it in ways that statistics can't measure. When you feel invisible again, and you will sometimes, remember that visibility was never the point. Revelation is the same unseen power that carried you through the waiting is still at work, expanding the circle, writing chapters you will only read through other people's joy. Stand in that knowing. It is the truest form of rest. In the quiet between one heartbeat and the next, the light says, "Well done for staying when leaving seemed simpler. Well done for believing when sight failed. Well done for choosing kindness when anger felt justified." These unseen victories are the pillars that hold your daughter upright, so keep walking, gently but steadily. Speak softly but with conviction. Carry gratitude like a lantern before you. Every step you take is another unveiling, another moment when the world catches a glimpse of what divine persistence looks like in human form. and when you finally pause to breathe and look around, you will realize that exposure was never about spectacle, it was about expansion. The world needed to see what trust can build. There will come a morning when you will wake and notice that everything feels quieter inside, not the silence of emptiness, but the hush that comes when a long piece of music ends on its final, perfect note. That is the sound of completion. It does not mean the story is over, it means the first movement is finished. In that stillness, look at what has become of you. The waiting has turned into wisdom, the breaking has become strength shaped by compassion. You no longer chase light, you have learned to carry it, and because of that, your daughter, your purpose, walks taller. She mirrors your peace more than your pain now, she will keep teaching you. Every time she meets the world, she reflects something new back to you. Through her, you will learn that love can stretch further than you imagined. You will learn that letting go is a kind of faith, that trust is not a moment but a rhythm. As she grows, people will ask how you did it, how you turned waiting into creation, loss into wisdom. You will smile, because the answer will not fit into words. You will know that it was not one act, but thousands of quiet choices, choosing hope, choosing forgiveness, choosing to begin again. Remember this, exposure was never about showing off what you built, it was about revealing what you became while building. The divine does not measure you by applause, but by alignment, how closely your life echoes the truth that lives inside it. So keep moving forward, not chasing, not proving, simply walking. Walk with hands open enough to give, heart wide enough to learn, and eyes clear enough to see grace in ordinary things. When the road curves, when uncertainty returns, speak softly to yourself, I have been here before and light found me then. It will find me again. Because the same presence that guided you through the hidden years walks beside you now, calm and unhurried. Nothing essential can be lost, everything that matters is carried in the marrow of your spirit. One day you will watch others begin their own journeys of waiting and wonder. You will recognize the ache in their questions, the fire in their eyes. You will speak gently to them, not with instructions, but with understanding. Your story will remind them that hidden things are not forgotten things, that every seed has its appointed dawn, and when you finish speaking, you will feel it again, that quiet blessing moving through you, the same one that whispered it is time at the beginning of this new life. It will say, you have become a keeper of light, walk softly, shine freely, and let every step teach love. This is how exposure turns into expansion, not with noise, but with steady illumination spreading from one heart to another. Your daughter, your purpose, carries that light forward now, and you stand in the glow. Finally able to see that the promise was never separate from you, it was you all along. When something once hidden begins to live in the open, the landscape changes, you start to notice echoes, ideas, moments, faces, that feel strangely familiar, as if they were waiting for you to arrive. That is how expansion works. It is not about conquering new ground, but recognizing what has always been quietly prepared for you. Your daughter, your purpose, moves through that landscape like a river, where she flows, things grow, People who were dry inside begin to hope again. Places that were silent begin to hum with possibility. Do not rush to control where she goes. Let her follow gravity. The pull of kindness, the curve of compassion, what you once carried has its own rhythm now, and that rhythm will find its own course. As you watch, you may feel a trace of loss. Creation always asks for release. You spent so many years protecting the fragile beginning that letting it move freely feels like surrendering a part of yourself. It is. But this is the sacred exchange between the giver and the given. Breathe through it. Remember, what flows away from you still carries your reflection, your work, your words, your way of being. These are the fingerprints left on every ripple. People will begin to tell you how your light reached them. They will use different languages, different images, but what they mean is the same. They felt seen. They felt possible again. When they speak, listen fully, then release their praise like petals on water. Gratitude is meant to move, not gather dust. What returns to you will always return as peace, not noise. There will also be those who question your daughter's shape, who prefer the safety of what you used to be. Smile gently. Their hesitation is not a judgment. It is a reflection of their own waiting, the same patience that birthed your light will one day guide theirs. So keep walking. Keep tending the inner soil where new seeds wait. Exposure was never the finish line, it was the doorway to a larger life. Now you are both the carrier and the gardener, learning, teaching, giving. As the seasons turn, you will find yourself standing beside others at the edge of their own beginnings. You will recognize the tremor in their hands, the wonder in their eyes. You will tell them, quietly, the light knows when to reveal. Trust the hidden work, trust the time it takes. And they will believe you, because your eyes hold the proof. The divine speaks again, not as command, but as companionship. Walk until the world feels larger because of your peace. Let your steps be a blessing. Let your daughter's laughter, your purpose alive, be the song that reminds others they are loved. You nod, because now you understand. The story was never about exposure for its own sake. It was about illumination. It was about how one life, faithfully lived, becomes a lantern for many.